There are two ways to process work orders. One way is to add work orders before the work is performed and then distribute to the mechanics, and the other is to add work orders after the mechanic's work is completed. This video shows adding work orders before the work is performed. From the Truck Tracker main page, we will select the work order icon at the top of the page. Next, we can click the Add button at the bottom to open our Adding a Work Order screen. We can then select our vehicle using our drop-down box, highlighting the vehicle. Click on Select. That enters the vehicle. We can then enter the mileage or hours or meter reading. And next we will select the mechanic that will be performing the work. You will also notice that all of the highlighted yellow asterisk marked boxes are a required field. Click on OK, and your work order has been created. To view the recently created work order, we can highlight and double click it. Opens the Changing a Work Order screen once again. We can then click on the Add button to add a service to that work order. Using our drop-down menu once again in the service code area, we can highlight the service code, click on Select, and that will enter it onto the work order. We will change the actual hours to 0 because we don't know how long it will take to do a repair. We can then add notes to this work order. In this case, the AC was not blowing cold air by the operator's complaint. We will then select OK, and you'll notice that the service code now has a small little envelope next to it letting us know that data has been entered, but on the work order screen it is absent. And this is due to the fact that there are two places to enter data or notes. Reopen the work order. We will now click on the Other tab, and there is a Work Order Notes section. This is where we'll put in other information, maybe a little bit more detailed, or the mechanic will have access and he will write what he is doing. We can now click OK, and you'll now see the little envelope on the work order screen. We can make a change to that work order, double-clicking, or by using the Change button, and now we can add parts. Click the Add button to open the part checkout screen. Using our drop-down menu, search for and highlight the part you wish to use. Click on Select, and here you'll need to determine the amount that you're going to use. Once satisfied, click on OK. This transfers that part to the work order. If we want to make another change to the service, we can now put in how long it took to make the repair. We can say OK, and now we have time accountable, as well as opening up the Other tab and maybe making a few more comments on what exactly was done to make the repair. We'll click OK when done. Let's reopen the work order now to add further parts and labor. We will now add another part. In this case, it will be a non-inventory part. Although we have the part listed, we have none on hand. We will select that part. Now we will have to say that we are selecting a non-inventory part. We will now have to select a vendor code. So we will source that vendor. Click Select. That enters it on the work order. We will select how many we used and the unit cost, and then we will say OK, and that will enter that information onto our existing work order. We will now go to our Other tab, and we will add further information on our service work order notes. about that added part. We are now ready to close our work order, and from the status bar at the upper right we will select that we have completed it and that we are closing it, as well as we will be printing out the work order when we hit the OK button. And once we hit the OK button, this will print out our work order. As you can see, it has our work order notes, the services performed with cost, and the parts used. Clicking on the one icon at the top will print out the one page. The X will get you back to the work order screen. You'll notice that the work order is now moved to the closed screen because we are done with it. We can now highlight and double click. We can review that work order, reopen it if necessary, but if satisfied, we can just say cancel. We can say close, and we have successfully created, performed, and closed a work order. To download a free trial version, visit www.fleetsoft.com.